study rooms. Oh my goodness, study rooms actually saved my life because my roommate was the absolute worst and would go to sleep at like 7 p.m. That's not why she was the absolute worst, but anyways. Hey you guys, this is your girl Disparate Amelia back again with another video haul. I hope you all are having a blessed week and have found multiple things to be grateful for. I am here with another video. This time I'm actually going to be talking about some college stuff. This whole week is going to be dedicated to college things, college advice that I specifically learned. I recently graduated from Savannah College of Art and Design, otherwise known as SCAD, in June. So I'm a fresh grad, graduated 3-ish, I guess if you count June, months ago. And this is just some advice that I learned from going to SCAD, from participating in the different things at SCAD. SCAD is a very special place that is near and dear to my heart, but I'm gonna just jump into some of the things that I learned from being at SCAD, all right? And these are my personal experiences. Obviously, everyone has different experiences at SCAD. Some people probably didn't have the best time at SCAD. Some people probably had an amazing time at SCAD. But these are just some tips that I learned along the way that could possibly help you have a better experience while going to SCAD. My first tip is do not use all of your absences. And please ignore the ratchetry nails, okay? At SCAD, we are on the quarter system, so that means we have, I guess you can call them trimesters. Like we have 3 different quarterly periods where you take 3 different sets of classes. Each class is 2.5 hours. We take 3 classes. I think the regular college is like 5 or 6, something like that. Since our quarter is so short, meaning we only have 10 weeks in each quarter to complete a full course, you are only allotted 4 absences without failing the class. Your 5th absence means you have failed the class. If you do not show up for that 5th time of you being late, tardy, not in the class, you will fail that class. So do not use your absences up. I went to school for 4 years. I've only used up my absences 1 time. It was for a writing class that I wouldn't say got the best of me, but got the best of me. So I was always scared to show up because I was feeling some type of way about my work. But if you use up your absences, I know for me, I was in the showcase group, which is a group that you can get into for performing arts during your last years of school. We needed those absences so bad because we were traveling, we were going to New York, we were going to Los Angeles for weeks. We went to New York for a whole week and you have classes every other day. Say we have 3 classes. You might have 2 of your classes on Monday, Wednesday, and then the 3rd class on Tuesday, Thursday, because there's no class on Friday. But if you're missing for a week, you're missing 2 of each class. You really don't want to be using up your absences just in case you might actually get sick or might actually have to go somewhere important, like, I don't know, a family reunion. Maybe your mom's getting married and you gotta go. Just don't. Or your sister is getting married. I don't know. Anyways, don't use your absences. Next tip is go to teacher reviews, midterm reviews, teacher conferences, midterm conferences, because they're actually very helpful to you, especially if you're having difficulty in that class. I feel like having a not personal, but a relationship period with your professor actually helps in you succeeding in that class, especially if you're struggling. I know for me, math is not one of the subjects that I excel in. Like, it's very hard for me to grasp math, and I always let my professors know that. You do have to take general education, and we call them foundation courses in SCAD. I was very adamant in telling my math teacher that this is not the class that, you know, I came to school for, and I actually have a lot of trouble in that. I would always email her to let her know how I was feeling about some of these assignments, if I needed help, or if I had difficulty with completing some of these assignments, because with my math class, it wasn't online, but most of our schoolwork was through a website. So I contacted her and told her, you know, I really need help. I feel like I'm really struggling. Those kind of things. Like keeping just a constant communication with your professor, even if you're going out of town and there's a big paper due, let them know, because they can really help you in the future. And if you create a clear and constant conversation with them, like an understanding with them, then they'll definitely help you out and you won't feel like you're completely struggling in that class. Speaking of classes, our classes are 2.5 hours, like I said, and that can get really long. They're supposed to have a break in between, like a 10-minute, 15-minute break in between classes. I even know some classes for like architecture students or interior design students are like 5 hours. It can get really long and drawn out, and you may or may not feel a little sleepy. So things that made me stay awake during these classes were typing on my computer, because you know, if you stare at any kind of phone screen, computer screen, it'll actually keep you awake for a little bit longer. And light, especially if they turn the lights off, the light will, you know, brighten you up. Keep some snacks in your bag, or get snacks while you're on break to munch on while you're in the class, if that is allowed in your class. Get some water, specifically ice cold water that will chill you and wake you up during class. Chew some gum. These are just some things that help to keep me awake. Those couple of things definitely helped me to stay awake. Another tip is use your resources. SCAD has so many different things that you can use that are available to students, and I feel like not a lot of students actually go and use the things that are available to them. By resources, I mean go to the library. There's a writer's lab. If you need help with a paper, go to a writer's lab. If you need help with your resume, you can also go to the writer's lab and they'll help you build your resume or create a cover letter, different things that are important for getting a job. You can do mock interviews with your career advisors. There's a counseling center. I cannot count the amount of times I went to my career advisor to help me with any God-given thing. Like, I was religiously there up until my last year because my career advisor got switched. Every time there was a time we should pick classes, I was there knocking on the door, like made an appointment, because I knew it was always very difficult for me to get into the classes that I wanted for performing arts. I was always there at her desk. I'm like, what can I do to get me together? When I studied abroad, she was there to help me with that as well. So always make sure you use your resources, because they are actually very helpful to you. Counseling center, college in general, not even just at SCAD, because people think we don't work hard, but art students really go through a lot of stuff. But there's a counseling center at your hand on your SCAD ID, your student ID, which you have to bring around with you everywhere you go. Literally, the number to call the counseling center is on the back of your ID card. So everything that is at hand to you, please use them. They're so important, not only in an academic or scholarly type of way, but they're very important for you emotionally or financially, because we have a financial center too. So just make sure you use your resources adequately, vividly. Go to the library during the day sometimes. Schedule your time wisely and use the things that are given to you for free while you're in school. Use them. Study rooms. Oh my goodness, study rooms actually saved my life, because my roommate was the absolute worst and would go to sleep at like 7 p.m. That's not why she was the absolute worst, but anyways. So I would go into the study rooms and do my work, and I sometimes like to work at night, so I would go in there and like do my thing. There's just so many different things that you can use that people take advantage of when they're there, so use those things. I know you have Xfinity for free when you go to SCAD. I'm pretty sure it's just on campus, but if you type in Xfinity on campus, it'll send you to your SCAD login, in which you can record shows for free. You can watch different shows on TV for free, watch different movies and things that you like on television, record them. Recording is especially important because you're going to class, so you're going to miss some things, and I thought it was really good that we could use that while we were at school. I was recording every single show I possibly could. It was amazing. Get you Xfinity for free. It's free for you if you live on campus. If you don't have a car, I highly suggest finding different ways to avoid the hassle of the buses, especially for freshmen, and maybe a little bit different as a senior, because you're gonna be solely in your buildings. For freshmen, you have that foundation route, and that route is a lot to navigate through because there's a lot of freshmen. The freshman population is larger than any other class at SCAD. Once you get used to Savannah, once you get used to those routes, if there's any other way you can go around going through the hassle of waiting like 30 minutes to an hour to catch a bus, then I suggest doing that. My personal favorite was walking, specifically when it's warmer, so like fall, spring time. I would like walk to my different classes because they would be really close to me, or even if they're not close to me, I would know how to get there. I think the farthest thing away from me was like a 20-minute walk, which I enjoyed. I would get myself together early enough to walk to my class. Or you can get a bike. SCAD actually rents bikes for kids. The first 4 hours I believe is free. Don't quote me on that, but look that up for yourself. They have bikes of their own, so you can rent a bike. I'm pretty sure you can rent cars through SCAD too, but I'm not sure how that process goes. But the bike process is really good. Bike share, rent a bike, park it at whatever building, and boom, you're done. If you have a car, drive that car. Or if you know different routes that go to different buildings, like I know Arnold specifically has the worst human traffic while waiting for a bus. I would go from Arnold to Eckberg, like walk from Arnold to Eckberg because it's fairly close, like 3 blocks down, and I would just wait for a yellow bus which would take me home, or wait for a red bus which would take me home, because the red also goes to Eckberg now as well. But just different ways that avoids the hassle of taking the bus, because it can be a lot. This is one for like summertime or for moving out into a new dorm. Collaborate with your friends on getting storage. Okay, I would say go against using campus carriers, which SCAD uses very avidly. I used it my freshman year and it was just way too overly priced for the amount of stuff I had and the amount of time that we were keeping it. We were only keeping it for like 2 months, I think. July, August, September, 2.5 months. I really thought it was overpriced at the time for me, but it is easier because they deliver it to your room before you get there. With moving it to like a storage company, you would have to move your things there yourself, but I feel like it's way less expensive to do it and collaborate with friends at a local storage company. I think I collaborated with my friends for storage my sophomore year. So when I collaborated with my friends, it was less than $100, and when I did campus carriers, it was a couple of $100s, and I even split that with one of my friends. Just find another solution. Find a local storage companies because they really do it for cheap in that area. Don't look for storage the last week of school. Look for storage a good 3-4 months in advance, or when that last quarter before you break and go back home comes, so you can find some cheap and easy storage for you to get into. So this is really simple and it probably doesn't seem like a lot. It actually depends on what you're used to or your major. I know it's kind of different for every major because every major has their own little quirks, but do your pre-quarter assignment because you're never actually sure if your teachers will grade that or not. You're never really sure if it'll become an assignment on the first day of class. I know sometimes we kind of brush it off like they can't grade us or do anything. Even if they don't grade that assignment, it might actually help you learn some things for that course or where your teacher's mindset is going forward in the course. Like I know some of my pre-quarter assignments have been watching different films and analyzing specific things out of them, which we had to bring out in class, or reading this article or a book that had to do something with what the curriculum was going to be like for the next 10 weeks. So it might be helpful for you to do the pre-quarter assignment even if you don't get graded on it. But if you do get graded on it, it would be great if you did it. Amazing. Oh, you probably don't even know what a pre-quarter assignment is. Pre-quarter assignments are just some assignment that you're assigned to before the first day of class. So it has to be done when you get to class. So that's a pre-quarter assignment. Another tip is don't buy your books until the first day of class. Sometimes just as a requirement for the syllabus, professors would put books on the syllabus that sometimes you won't even end up using in the class. It can just be extra material or extra money that you really don't need. Sometimes it's actually really good material, but wait until the first day of class where they tell you which books that you're actually need and will actually use in the class before you go and buy an $100 book. Also, you can find books very cheap online or ebooks. You don't always have to buy the physical copy of books. If you do like the physical copy like I do, I tend to use them. Renting is also another good option. I feel like most of the books I got in school I kept because they were good material for me to just keep in life. They had very good tips on acting, very good tips on body language and structure, like things I could use beyond the classroom. So if you feel like you can use the book beyond the classroom, then I say buy it, purchase it, and keep it. But definitely wait until your teacher says which book you need. And sometimes they send an email to tell you, yeah, you do need this for the first week of class. Keep an eye out for that. Another tip I learned while going to SCAD is creating a squad or a friend group or a team outside of your major. I know for me it was really important to have friends outside of my major. Like, I don't have a lot of actor friends in real life. I really don't have any actor friends in real life that I know that are in my hometown. I was really the only one in my high school who was trying to pursue that kind of thing. In SCAD, there's a wide variety of concentrations, from photography to film to sound to acting to illustration to animation to painting to fibers. So many different things that if it's not in your major, you're not going to have a lot of information for. So I suggest finding people who are helpful slash close to your major to make friends with, or people that have nothing to do with your major that you can learn from. I have a couple of people who are fibers majors, which I would never in my life personally do. I have no idea how to make patterns or create yarn or do that kind of thing, but seeing them work give me inspiration to do different things within my path or my career. And also having people who are close to your major, like my major was performing arts, film and television people, photography people, sound people, because sound always need individuals to work in their projects. So why not have a friend who can help you do something and they can help you create a reel, different things like that. So having people in your corner or on your team who do different things is very important, not only inside of school, but once you get outside of school, you're going to want to make your own projects, and you can't do it all by yourself. You can try very hard, but some things you're not going to know. You're not always going to know everything. So it's good to have different people from all different sides of the artist spectrum in your corner. A tip that goes along with that is going to master classes or events that have nothing to do with your major, because you learn different things. And sometimes people go to college and don't exactly know what they want to do. They end up doing something totally different than what they came in for. So going to these different master classes exposes you to things that you probably have never seen. Of course, if it's pertaining to a specific major, they're going to get first priority. I know when SCAD does Film Fest, only performing arts majors can go to those master classes with the professionals, the directors, the actors that come to visit our school. There's Define Art, SCAD Fashion Weekend, SCAD Style, SCAD Animation Festival, different things where you can learn from professionals. Like Leica came to our school, Pixar came to our school, and obviously they weren't, well, they hire actors, but at the time they were looking for animators. But I still went to the session to learn the inside and outs of those companies, to see how they work and how they function, because they could eventually help me in the long run. Going to things like Steve Madden came to our schools. I mean, I'm a indulger in Steve Madden, but I really wanted to hear how he created his own company and went through building his own product, just learning the different structures and I guess stepping tools from each and every different major or each and every different concentration is very cool, and it can help you create your own empire, create your own thing, and it can help you learn for different projects that you do. Bless you. Thank you. Yes. Sorry. No. No problem. Another tip that I have is to have class friends. You may meet some people in your class who you think you're really cool with, but honestly that's just inside of the classroom. Like, you guys are not going to get coffee together, you guys are not going to the movies together, you guys are probably not going to be in each other's weddings 10 years from now, 8 years from now, however many years from now. But in class you guys are cool. You share notes when you're not in the class together. If they're missing out on information, you let them know. You exchange phone numbers or emails so you can get that information with them in the class. If you don't understand something in the class, they can explain it to you later on. Or if you forget a due date that your teacher mentioned but wasn't in the syllabus, they can help you and let you know. So find you a class friend. It can come genuinely, or you can literally just ask someone for their phone number or email so you can get the information for them, especially if you're not there or if you're absent from a class and you want more information, or say if you were dozing off, they can help you out. Get you a class friend. It may not leave the classroom, but it will help you in the class. Utilize your professors. Your professors are there not only to teach you, but all the professors at SCAD have 20+ years in whatever industry they are teaching on. So they have connections. They know the things that you want to know about the business that you're in. So ask them questions. Like I said, if they're having extra help sessions, go to their extra help sessions. Listen to what they say. Even if you don't buy the material on the syllabus, read the material on the syllabus. Pay attention to everything that they're giving you because it's important information, and obviously it was successful because they were in the industry for so long. If you can still reach out to them even if you're not in their classroom, it can be really helpful for you in the long run. So I'm on my last two. One out of the last two is study abroad. SCAD has 4 campuses. We have Atlanta, Savannah, which is the home campus, Lacoste, French, which is a quaint medieval town that I loved and adored. I went there myself. And then we have the big city, Hong Kong. If you have an opportunity to go and study abroad for a summer or for one of the quarters within the regular school year, I suggest doing it. I personally went to Lacoste. I've always wanted to go to France for all of my life, and I got the amazing opportunity to do so. It was literally a life-changing experience. Everybody says that, oh, it's gonna change your life, you're gonna be so different, and it's not like a drastic change, it's very subtle. But going to France and experiencing that for those 3 months was an amazing time for me. Seeing theater in a different language, seeing people move in a different language, just learning that humanity is so universal no matter what language you're in was an amazing experience. I wish I went to Hong Kong, but I didn't have the opportunity to do so, and my major wasn't there at the time either. I suggest going to all 4 campuses if you can. Go in the summer. That could probably help you to graduate earlier too, because it did that for me. Studying abroad is such an amazing opportunity, and they're in such unique places that you would love it either way. It's definitely different than being in America if you're used to being in America, but learning about different cultures in an artistic atmosphere is just something incomparable. It's an amazing experience, and I suggest doing so while you can. All right, speaking of graduating early, do not put all your major classes or take all your major classes at the same time. I had several quarters where I was taking just all major classes, and I ended up taking all general or foundations courses my last quarter of school, which kind of sucked for me. So I suggest spreading them out as best as you can. I know sometimes classes come seasonally, so you may not be able to take a class in the spring because it's only offered in the winter, but try your best to spread your major classes out, because if you take all of them, you're kind of out of luck, and you gotta take whatever's left, like your sciences and your maths, and that's not what you came to get your degree for. So it was a bummer that I didn't get to experience the last of my art classes before I graduated. Even though I was doing showcase and doing that, I would have loved to be in a learning atmosphere during my last quarter, but that was my own fault because I was just taking performing arts classes back to back to back to back to back. I suggest spreading them out for sure. And my last thing is enjoy yourself. SCAD is such a special place. College is such a special place. You learn a lot about who you are as a human being, who you are as an artist, who you are as a friend, who you are as someone's child. You just learned a lot about yourself. I learned a lot about myself while going through school, and it's built me to be a better person, a more conscious artist, a well-rounded artist, to be quite honest. So I say enjoy your time. Go to every festival that you can. Go to Define Art, go to Sidewalk Chalk Arts Festival, go to Sand Arts Festival, collaborate with your fellow students, do every possible thing you can for my performing arts majors. Be in everything that you can. Audition for everything that you can. Even if you don't get it, you're in the room and they see your face, and it's a learning opportunity. So do everything that you can while you can in those 4 years, because you're paying for it, right? So enjoy everything that you possibly can during that time. It's fun. Enjoy yourself. It can be stressful at times, but just know that you got this. You went there for a reason, and if it's because of your passion, if it's because you actually really want to do this and make a change in the world, or make a change in yourself, or make a change for your family, then keep strong, hold your head up, be confident in your talents and who you are, and you will make it. I absolutely promise. That's for myself too. That was a memo for me too. Okay, that was all the things that I had for right now. Of course, there's like 1,000 more things I could talk about, but these are just some of the things that came off the top of my head for SCAD. I hope you guys enjoy. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, okay? Comment down below if you have any questions or suggestions, or if you went to SCAD, some of the things that you learned from SCAD. Give this a big thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to share it with your aunties, uncles, friends, cousins, pets, dogs, rabbits, goldfish. Just keep it on a loop, keep it on replay, okay? Thank you guys so much. I love you all through and through, and I'll see you next time. Bye.